move back a little bit. Perfect. Hey guys, it's your girl Janie, and for the life of me, welcome back to Life of Me. Um, Happy Monday. I'm sorry, this is not a Sunday. So if you're new, what I usually do is I go live on Sundays where I answer questions that people have sent me throughout the week about studying, working, and living in Canada. I usually do this on Sunday at 4 p.m., but a lot of stuff happened yesterday and I couldn't make it. So happy Monday. And if you're returning and subscribed, thank you so much for accommodating my rescheduling and everything. And without further ado, let me tell you what this is. So, like I said, people sent me questions throughout the week, and how you do that is by emailing bayanaj@gmail.com, or you can send a DM to at bayanaj on Instagram, knowing fully well that I'll only open DMs from people who are following me, because yeah, it just makes sense that way. Also, because it shows up in my DMs. If not, it'll go to like other, and I might not see it for weeks. Okay. So if you're doing the DM route, you want to definitely be following me. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to go into the questions people sent me throughout the week, and so I don't waste your time. But also, if we have some time, I'll get to the questions that come up on this live session, as well as talk about this beautiful frames I got sent to me. And if you are patient and you wait to the end, you'll be getting the information about these glasses. Okay? Okay, perfect. And so let's get into it. So King of Day just sent me. Oh my God! I'm so sorry. I usually love to know where all my subscribers are coming from or are living in right now. So can you do me a favor and just like this video and let me know in the comment section where you are right now or what country you're from. I'd always love to know. Okay? Thank you. So, okay, without further ado, this person wants to know what the least amount a student is paid for working in Canada and what kind of jobs students get. So I'll just let you know that minimum wage, which is typically student rate for students, most students get paid minimum wage, differs per province. So I think Ontario is one of the highest ones because the cost of living in Ontario is, especially in the cities of Ontario, is usually higher. But it ranges from $10 an hour to $14, 10.96 to $14. I'm gonna put a link in the description box so you can actually study this if you want to go more in detail. But then the kind of jobs you can do as a student would include like part-time grocery store jobs, working at checkout. You can work at restaurants like Tim Hortons or McDonald's because they allow for part-time work. Some people work in factories and some people just bartend. But of course, you need a liquor license serving thing in Ontario at least to bartend. And then if you want to work in a corporate world, a couple companies will have internship programs and you can always join that and work as an intern part-time. I hope that answers your question. Moving on to the next question. So this person wants to know recommended uni for pharmacy. If you want detailed information like that, like if you want my advice on the school you should go for a course, there's a link below where you can book some time to talk to me about it, because I can't just recommend pharmacy for you. First of all, like I don't even know what your career aspirations are, what kind of tuition you're looking for, cost of living, what kind of demographics you're looking for. So that would require a private consultancy with me. So next question. Person wants to know what the answer to funds available for my stay while applying for a study permit in Canada is, especially if someone is sponsoring you. I don't know about like sponsoring for study permits. What I know though is there's no one amount or range the government will ask you this is what funds available for your state looks like, because it's case by case, right? Some people might be going to undergrad, in that case where their tuition might be way more than you because you're spending longer times in school. If you're doing a postgrad certificate, and it depends on where you're doing it. So the general rule of thumb I tell people is to think about it like this: your tuition plus the cost of living for that year. And one thing so that means like I've done a cost of living video, you can check it up down in the comments in the description box, so you can understand what cost of living in certain cities is like, and you can also just google it, there will be more information. And then how that works is tuition plus cost of living, and they just never want to lie. You want to say it and be able to back it up with statements of account by either your account or your parents or your guardians. And if it's your guardians, people who are not directly related to you, you need like proof to show that they're the ones who are going to be paying for it. Okay, that said, next question. um okay, I have a PhD and I want to relocate to Canada. Do you have any idea of sites I can visit for postdoc fellowships? Hi Seville, hi, welcome. So truth is, from what I've heard, the people I know who did their PhDs in Canada, it's not that easy to get into like masters or the postgraduate diplomas or certificates. Usually, you have to find the professor whose research you're interested in, um, and talk to them, create a conversation, and that way it's easier to get into. I don't know of any sites where you can go in for that. Um, he also wants to know that his brother wants to come to Canada through the education route. He wants to know, apart from the schools I talked about, which other ones are affordable and which regions are cheap. Honestly, the ones I talked about, like, if you find anything better, let me know because I combed the internet to find all those cheap and affordable schools I talked about in the video, again, in the description box earlier on in the year. Um, Another question is if he wants to study business administration, or sorry, if he studied business administration for his BSc, can he take a master's or diploma in another area, say social work? The answer is yes. If you want me to give you a yes or no answer, I think it's yes. But from what I know, it's usually harder. You have to really convince them why the switch, and a lot of it's hard to convey that in a letter. So I always advise people to stick to something in their with that's directly correlated to the bachelor's or at least a 1 degree separation. If you say you did a BA and now you want to do social work, you might talk about like you might talk about what kind of social work related businesses you want to do. Like, say you want to create a social enterprise down the line, you want to convey that in your letter, and that would make sense to the person reading your application. Other than that, you're like, you did business, now you want to do social work. Doesn't make sense. Okay, okay. I hope I was able to convince to answer that question. Convince you. Anyways, the next question. I'm from Nigeria and I really. Oh, sorry, Serval. I am in Toronto currently. That's where I am in Canada. Just to answer your question. Okay, I'm in Nigeria and I've really been following your videos on YouTube. Thank you. I want to do an 8 month certificate program twice, one in digital media and the other one in tech. I want to know if the 8 months for the two different courses will be applied for my country before departing, or do I apply to one first? What is the length of time of applying for the second 8 months after finishing the first 8 months? Oh, that's a mouthful. And what is the price range for applying for a certificate program in media and tech? Thank you so much for your efforts. Okay, basically, that whole question he was asking, I'm going to do two certificate programs. Do I apply for both of them at the same time from my home country or what? No, you can't do, like, I don't, there's, if I'm trying to get into school for, say, September, which doesn't make any sense, already too late, I can apply to this September and next September. Doesn't make sense. So what it is you apply to the first one, get admission started, and then say, because it's usually 8 months, so say like March, April, the next year you apply to the next one and you get your admission, then you extend your study permit. That's how. Okay. Price range though, Ontario schools are expensive. If you're trying to go for something cheap, go somewhere else. Or Ontario and BC schools are usually expensive. I've talked about affordable tuition in another video. You should check that out. But that being said, I think after schooling in Toronto, Kingston, generally Ontario schools, that the return on investment makes sense for me because while I was schooling, I was able to make strategic relationships with people in the industry, which would make the job seeking process, especially in the business or marketing world, a little easier. But if you're in something like law, engineering, medicine, things that are age old industries that you think would still be okay in provinces where there's not a thriving business culture, you can school somewhere else. Okay? I hope that answers your question. So in Ontario, postgraduate certificates cost like 15 grand for a year, 15,000 Canadian. You might be lucky to find somewhere a little cheaper, say maybe 10 or 8. But if you want to go to a good school, that is, or a good prestigious school, it'll be about 15,000 for a year for a postgraduate diploma. Hope I've answered your question. And then second to the last question, pre-recorded question. I'd like to know your opinion on Cambrian College. Is it a good school? Honestly, the first time I heard about this school was you sending me this email. Okay, so Taiwo, but I did my research, and what I know is it's in Sudbury, and I know there are people who went to Sudbury, so maybe that's the school they went to. Or Sarnia, Sudbury. It's Northern Ontario a little bit. It's I don't like according to Google reviews, it's like it has 3.8 reviews, so I guess it's good. If it has an OCI number, but what I always advise people to do when you're going to a school is check on Facebook or the website. They'll usually have an international students group. join that and try to talk to someone from on there. And like, hey, I see you're in the school. What is your opinion so far? Do you mind if I ask you questions over like a 10-minute Skype call or whatever, or email? And you'd usually find people who are in that process who are willing to share their experiences. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Um, Last question. I came across your channel on YouTube. Please, is it possible to do a postgraduate diploma from 1 year, work full time for the next year, and after working full time, am I eligible for PR? Short answer is it depends. Uh, short answer is yes, but it depends, and it is very risky. So I usually say if you have work experience from back home, in the sense where you can get a job offer letter from your previous employee, because some people come from shitty places where you can't even talk to your previous employers. But if you do have a relationship and you've worked for at least 1 year, then it's okay to do your schooling for 1 year, work for just 1 year, and apply for PR. And in that sense, you do the further skilled worker stream because you have skill experience from back home. But if you don't have work experience from back home, say all you've been doing is schooling, the advice is that you do 2 years of schooling here so that you can get 3 year work permit, and it'll be enough time to work full time for 1 year to apply for your PR. I know that was hard, so if you just rewind this a little bit and play it slowly, it'll sink it. Okay, so that is all the questions I had pre-recorded. So let me see what I have here on live. Um, Hi, all the Nigerian people. How you doing? Can you please guide me what computer engineering or software engineering is a good scope in Toronto or not? I don't understand what you're asking exactly, Seville, but I know a lot of software engineers and they're doing okay. It is, I said rewind. Anyways, and they're doing okay. What it is, it depends really. Like with every job situations, I know a lot of excellent people that don't get jobs immediately. I know people who are not like according to academic standards smart, but in real life they are and they got jobs faster. So it depends on you. Sorry. Okay, so okay, real question. Schools I attended in Canada, and then that will be the end of the video. I went to Humber for 2 different postgraduate certificates, and I did my master's in Queen's University in Kingston. So, real quick, glass details. I know a lot of you have been waiting for this, so let me tell you about the glasses. So, if you're new in Canada, sometimes before you get your health card or your health insurance, it might take forever. However, especially if you wear glasses, you want glasses and it costs so much. It's so expensive in Canada to get glasses. A frame like this can cost you almost $200, but I got this for less than $40 online through a company called Firmoo. So what it is you just put in your prescription. You can actually put in your pictures on there and try to see if the frame fits you, and they have really classy trendy frames like this. Oh, and I'm literally wearing my prescription for less than $50 in Canada. I do not believe it. So if you're interested, I'll put a link to the product down below. I got sent this frames for free, and I just said I'm going to do my review on my YouTube channel. So that's all you guys need to know about it. And if you have any more questions, email me at gmail.com, or send me a DM and at bayanaj on Instagram. And with that said, I wish you guys have a 4D smell throughout this week, and you're happy and you're blessed. Thank you all to everyone who joined me on live today, and I'll see you next Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a blessed day, guys. Bye.